people probably look now and they think, oh right, he's got some bottle to be able to go there,
Yeah.
shave all his shave all his hair off, you know. So I think it says a lot about you as a person to be able to actually just go for it, you know, and not care what other people think. So I'm going back here, now at the back, starting to fit out as well. It is a big change, but I tell you what, now looking back, you know, it's the best thing I've ever done, and I should have just done it so long ago.
We've been setting this interview up for a while, and you were honest, which was great, you know, where you said, like, I'm going to be honest, like, I'm not loving it right now. What changed, do you think? How did you kind of slowly start to realize, like, oh, actually, this is the right thing?
Do you know what? It was probably my friends saying, like, I don't know, just kind of like just being friends really, and just saying,
yeah,
you look wicked, you know, and just people saying it really suits you. You look great, and like from there being no real, because I thought, like I thought as I said earlier, I thought I'm never gonna. What's it gonna be like with girls? Like I didn't know what's gonna happen, but in reality, like I'm like in no way God's gift anyway. So if anything, they probably were like looking at my hair thinking, what's going on with your hair?
Yeah.
So if anything now, I think it's like more of a confidence thing. And I think people probably look now and they think, oh right, he's got some bottle to be able to go there, shave all his hair off, you know? So I think it says a lot about you as a person to be able to actually just go for it, you know, and not care what other people think. And I think once you come to terms with it, and once the people around you kind of come to terms with it, because it's one of those things I thought I'm going to be getting slated for the rest of my life. Like all of my friends used to crack jokes like, if you shave your hair off, we're going to be slapping you on the head for the next 40, 50 years and things like this. So there was a lot of that. But first time you see your friends, they go, whoa, like they're really quite taken back. Oh, you actually done it. And then second time you see them, it's just fine. Like it's just normal. It's just like, and you don't get any comments or anything like that. So yeah, it's
the point you mentioned there about having the bottle to do it as well. Mate, honestly, that is something that is really overlooked, and I mention it a lot. But it's like, you know, if people obviously, if it gets to a point where it's really noticeable that your hair is falling out and you are doing things to hide it and stuff. Now, that is like a natural part of the journey for so many men, you know. So I think it's actually valuable for some guys to go through that because, you know, once they realize, like, look, this isn't working, like, what else can I do about this? And then they start to think like, oh, maybe I should shave it off, right? But when they're in that point, and if people are noticing, they genuinely can pick up on that, I feel. You know, they can sense like, oh, this guy's obviously like struggling to deal with it, you know, and he hasn't like taken real action on it. And I think then on the flip side, when they see like, oh, you shaved your head, and if you can be there and be like, yeah, but my hair was falling out, or whatever, so I just, you know, I just got on with it and shaved it off. Yeah. You know, I think then they can really say, they really respect that, and I use that word a lot, but it's true. You know, they pick up on that and they say, oh, this guy's got the bottle, he's got the confidence to do that.
Yeah.
Not like shy away from it or hide away from it. And I think that leaves a really like good impression on people, on birds, on, you know, mates, anyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, big time. I couldn't agree more, really. And I've said it to a lot of my friends who I've bumped into. They said, well, why have you done it? And I said, look, I'd much rather be the guy who's, you know, gone there and you know, bit the bullet, rather than the guy who's got crap hair and is trying to cover it up. And when the wind blows, you're worried about how you look. You know, you're trying to check your reflection out, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, so it's it's one of those things. And the sooner you do it, I think the better. I should have really done it years ago, you know. But I'm so glad I did make the jump.
Perhaps from your own, like, you know, how it played out for you, especially with immediately after not feeling so confident. If you can look back on some of the things that helped you, you know, kind of like come to terms with it, like as you said, yeah, what advice would you give other people who are going through this?
I'd say it's going through what, like debating whether or not to cut their hair off, or
like
gone
first,
for it.
debating whether or not to just shave it off and say, look, let's just be done with this now, not hang on to it. And also, or like a bit more specific for you, that time immediately afterwards, and how to sort of, really go all in with it in a sense, and just and really come to know, like, yeah, I have made the right decision.
Yeah, I'd say firstly, I mean, with in regards to just doing it, it's one. I mean, my only regret really is hanging on and not doing it sooner.
Yeah.
So it's one of those ones where if you're thinking, shall I go for it? Shall I do it? I'd say just do it. And at the very, very worst case, if you don't like the way it looks, or if you think, oh, it's too soon, I could have held out for a year or two more, it's going to grow. It's going to grow back, you know. So that's the very worst case. But it's one of those things. For me, I'm seeing it saving me so much time during the day. I'm not self-conscious the way that I was, and I've always been quite self-conscious, but I'm not to the extent that I was. Like I'll happily dive in the swimming pool now. Instead of worrying about, oh, what's my hair looking like.
And it must have been great when you went away, like just super convenient, like when you were traveling and stuff like that. Like there's no experience. You think, oh, I can't do that because if we go and do that, my hair's going to be messed up.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that was brilliant. And going out there, and it was all kind of perfect timing. So I did it, and a couple of weeks later, I was out there like on the west coast of America. So that was really, really nice. And the tan managed to balance out, because that's one thing I was really worried about. I thought, I'm going to do it and I'm going to have a really white head. But I mean, it's one of those things. You're going to have a white head for like a week or two. But yeah, that's it. But it was super convenient, super convenient.
I've got to just ask as well, one thing that's interesting as well. You obviously you shaved it, but you still committed to it, right? So even though you were kind of feeling a little bit self-conscious about it, like you said, in that sort of month afterwards, you stayed committed to it.
Yeah.
That's quite an important part as well, surely. You did it, and there was obviously something even though I don't feel super happy with this right now, you still maintained, like the shaving it, and you obviously thought, I've got to stick to this.
Yeah. And it was, if I'm honest, I think the reason I probably did that was I've got an uncle who I'm very close to, and I went for a beer with him up in London after work, and we met up. It was like, it looks great. And I said, yeah. I said, you know what? I said, it's good. I'm glad you like it. I said, but I'm really struggling to come to terms with it.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm not being funny, George. He said, but this is you now. He said, so this is it. And when he said that, I kind of realised, you know what, he's right. This is it. So I've almost, I don't know, not that I've got to like it, but I kind of grew to like it.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I had my friends, I've got a friend who said, you're going to have to undergo the whole rebrand now, which has been quite exciting. So, I guess you get to buy a couple of new items of clothing, and just kind of like change the style a little bit, which is good.
It's true. It's like we've called it, we talk about this rebrand. I call it like the U 2.0.
That's it.
It's not, you're no less George, or you're no less of whoever you are. It's just a different look, a different style, a different attitude maybe on other things in your life. And it by no means needs to be a negative change either. It's just a change.
Yeah.
And I think that's an important point. And it's good to have people like that around you, like you said, your uncle and that, because at the end of the day, it's the truth. It's the truth. And you need that, because the last thing you need is people to tell you, oh, well, maybe you can go for this surgery, or maybe you need to, he just gave it to you, just solid, straight, honest advice, So, no, that's good stuff, mate. And thank you so much for coming on and talking about it. It really, a lot of people can relate to this, relate to the story specifically. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no, and thanks to you as well, Harry, because your platform helps massively.
Guys, we want to thank you so much for watching and for listening. George has shared his story here, and I really hope that it helps some of you out there and you can relate to this. And we, of course, will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.